Carmen Contreras and this is CC Channel. And today our program is from Raleigh, Essex. And we are here from Eileen Copland house. She welcomed us to talk about Richard III and how she engaged herself with Richard III Society after a book that she read when she was 15 years old. Eileen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Yes, could you tell a little bit about the journey and about this wonderful book?
Right, a long time ago I borrowed a book from the school library and it was called Daughter of Time by Josephine Tay. It's quite a small book and I was always interested in history and I read it and it was about someone trying to find out about Richard III and the Princess in the Tower, and he did a lot of research in the book, and then at the end he thought that Richard III had not killed the Princess in the Tower, that probably it was Henry VII who followed him, because there were a lot of Plantagenets alive when Richard III died, but once Henry VII became king, they all disappeared.
Oh,
He
wow.
had them executed. One that was very sad was Richard did have a nephew, Edward, and Richard and his wife looked after him because it was his wife's nephew as well. And he was 14 when Richard died, and Henry immediately put him in the Tower and kept him there for 10 years, and then said he was committed treason and had him executed.
Oh, wow. How sad.
The Tudors weren't very good if we look back at it. They did execute a lot of people. Now, that is no reason to think why Richard didn't kill the Princess in the Tower. No one actually knows. There's no proof of anything. But I always was on Richard's side, thought it had a bad press.
Okay.
And I didn't do much about it. I mean, I was 15 when I first read the book, and then, I was out at work and got married, had children. It was only reading about they'd found his skeleton.
Where was that?
In the car park in about 2012, and I thought, gosh, Richard III. And I had a friend up in Leicester anyway, so as one does, I rushed up to Leicester to see the hole in the car park.
And you being a member of the society?
And I joined the Richard III Society. I didn't know there was one before. It originally started in, I think, about 1934, called the White Boar Society, because that was Richard's emblem, the white boar. But anyway, I joined the society, and I would have joined it a lot earlier if I'd have known. And then been involved, going to different meetings, and I've been up to Leicester several times. When they were excavating the whole of Greyfriars, I went up to see bigger holes in the car park.
But what does the society actually do?
Well, they're trying to reinstate Richard and give the other side of him, that he wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
And the fact that when he was only king for 2 years, he was 32 when he died, he was still a young man. But in those 2 years as a king, he decided that the law should be in English so that all his ordinary people could understand it, that it wasn't in Latin. He also said that people were not to be imprisoned without evidence, and he introduced the bail system. So he did quite a lot of good in his short space of time.
Okay.
And while he was doing all this, of course, he was suffering from scoliosis, and he had a sad time while he was king. His only child, his only son, Edward, died, and then his wife died. So he was combating that and his scoliosis, but he was still a very brave man. And when he went to Bosworth to fight for his kingdom, he led the charge. He was a warrior king, he was brave, he did die at the Battle of Bosworth, but Henry VII, who won it, actually was about 1 mile behind his lines. He never went into battle at all.
The society, you get together?
We get together with meetings. I was at the AGM about a week ago, and I go to different study days, sometimes in Leicester, and I've been up to Norwich, and they have trips out, and
Okay.
we get a bulletin every 3 months, all the latest news.
Because also my understanding is that the society is around the world.
Yes, it is a one around the world. We have members in America, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. At his reinterment in Leicester in March, and a lot of Richard III Society members met up, and they're all from all around the world. There's about, I think, 5,000 members altogether.
Okay. How do they exchange information about him or the meetings?
Well, yes, they say what they've been doing in their countries, what meetings they have, what talks they have, and yes, we get reports from different parts.
Yeah, because you've been a member since 2012. Yes.
Yeah.
And are you enjoying it?
Oh yes. Meet all different people. I mean, I'm not a historian and don't pretend to be, but it is, it's interesting and I find it fascinating.
Excellent. Any tips or anything that anyone want to follow the society or anything in history similar?
Well, if you want to, find out more about the Richard III Society, you can just Google it and you'll find it there. And there's lots of books being written about Richard. But the one I started with was the little one. It's only a little one, Daughter of Time by Josephine Tay. It's very small, and it will give you an insight first of all. But there are others, So.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Eileen. Thank you for having it, and I hope that you have liked this program. And please feel free if you agree or disagree about Richard III. And we're looking forward to hear your comments as always. Share, comments, and more important, subscribe. It's free. Thank you. Bye bye.